is December 4th at 6:30. It's time for the Liquor Control Commission hearing. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Roll call, please.
Olkel,
Here.
Commissioner Papantos. Present. Commissioner Vito.
Here.
Commissioner Lang.
Here.
Commissioner Kruger.
Present.
Commissioner Raffato.
Here.
Chairperson Horker.
Here, you have before you the minutes of the special meeting, November 20th, 2023. Can I have a motion for their approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Papantos, second.
Second.
Commissioner Lang, roll call.
Commissioner Lang.
Yes.
Commissioner Vito.
Yes.
Commissioner Papantos. Commissioner Papantos.
On now.
Yes.
Commissioner Vogel.
Yes.
Raffato.
Yes.
Commissioner Kruger.
Yes.
Chairperson Horker.
Yes, any citizens' concerns or comments?
Not today. 6A, consideration of a request for a Class H liquor license from ABR Wheeling Hotel Tenant LLC doing business as the Westin Chicago North Shore.
Thank you. I was too good at that. Mr. Spondelos, what do we got here?
Thank you. Before you this evening is essentially this is very loud. Wow. Sorry, I'll back
I
up.
think everybody outside wants to hear it, so.
About 100 years ago, when I was sitting way down there, my microphone, I talked too quietly. I know that. And I was sort of counting on the microphone not picking up what I would say, and I got away with it most of the time. And Elaine Simpson, who was over here, was talking about the Historical Society's some dinner they were having. And she announced that such and such a night, there was going to be the Historical Society's, and I said, frog roast. That's when the microphone kicked in. See, Luca has these all torqued up really good tonight.
Yeah, it does.
Well, people can hear me down the hall, so projection's not my problem. What is before you this evening is effectively a paper transfer. The current license holder is a subsidiary of the parent group that owns the hotel, and tonight's request moves the license back under the umbrella of the hotel's ownership. So there's no physical change that's happening. This is all just a paper transfer of liability. Happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion,
There are five.
Commissioner Lang, second Commissioner Kruger with the conditions that Mr. Spondelos needs to read.
1, submittal of a certificate of insurance indicating liquor liability insurance for the establishment. 2, submittal of a current lease for the premises. 3, payment of all associated fees. 4, submittal of proof of Bassett certification for all applicable employees. And finally, the forfeiture of the existing liquor licenses for the subject premises.
We have the motion, we have the second. Clerk Brady, clerk, yes.
Commissioner Papantos.
Yes.
Commissioner Vito.
Yes.
Commissioner Lang.
Yes.
Commissioner Kruger.
Yes.
Commissioner Raffato.
Yes.
Commissioner Vogel. Chairperson Horker.
Yes, that concludes the business for the Liquor Control Commission meeting for the evening. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Raffato, second Commissioner Kruger, roll call in favor.
Aye.
Liquor Control Commission is adjourned. I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Village of Wheeling for December 4th, 2023. Clerk Brady.
Hold on. Start this meeting. Okay. Where am I? Trustee Vogel.
Yes, here.
Trustee Papantos.
Present.
Trustee Vito. Trustee Lang. Trustee Kruger.
Present.
Trustee Raffato.
Here.
President Horker.
Here, you have before you the minutes of the regular meeting, November 6th, 2023. Can I have a motion for their approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Trustee Papantos, second.
Second.
Trustee Raffato, roll call.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes, you also have before you the minutes of the regular meeting of November 20th, 2023. Motion for approval.
So moved.
Trustee Krueger, second.
Second.
Trustee Vogel, roll call.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes, any changes to the agenda?
There are no changes this evening.
Is this up to you, Clerk Brady?
Village of Wheeling Proclamation in recognition of Gregory P. Schulz Day, December 6, 2023. Whereas Gregory Greg P. Schulz is a long-term team member of the Department of Public Works who began his career with the village on June 25th, 1990. And whereas Greg began his services in the Buildings and Grounds Maintenance Division before transferring to the Utility Division, where he worked most of his career on the village sewer system. And whereas Greg served the village and community with professionalism and was a valuable asset to the village with knowledge of the sewer infrastructure, and whereas Greg retires on December 6, 2023, celebrating over 33 years of service to Wheeling. And whereas it is with the great honor that the Village of Wheeling recognizes Gregory P. Schulz, utility maintenance operator, for his long-term and distinguished career in the Department of Public Works. And whereas the Village of Wheeling and Department of Public Works express their genuine and sincere gratitude for Greg's dedication to the village, Pat Horker, President of the Village of Wheeling, does hereby proclaim Tuesday, December 6, 2023 as Gregory P. Schulz Day in the Village of Wheeling. We are most grateful for the contributions Greg has made during the 33 years in public service and extend our best wishes for continued success, health, and happiness in the future.
Thank you, Greg. 33 years, that's almost as long as you've been here.
And just so we know, the 6th is Wednesday, not Tuesday. The last square is,
Oh,
now therefore.
I see that.
Yeah, you read it right, it just,
Give him 2 days.
You could give it to him.
Appointments and confirmations. It was my pleasure to do the Planning Commission interviews with Trustee Rufato a week ago, 2 weeks ago. There were 3 very well qualified candidates, and it was our pleasure to recommend to the board Diane Smart. That being the case, I would like a motion from the board to appoint Diane Smart as our new planning commissioner.
So moved.
Trustee Rufato, second. Trustee Lang, roll call, please.
Trustee Lang,
Yes.
Trustee Krueger,
Yes.
Trustee Rufato,
Yes.
Trustee Vogel,
Yes.
Trustee Papantos.
Yes.
Trustee Vito,
Yes.
President Horker.
Yes.
Please. Come forward. Okay. I, Diane Smart,
I, Diane Smart,
having been appointed to the Plan Commission
having been appointed to the Plan Commission
in the Village of Wheeling,
in the Village of Wheeling,
in the counties of Cook and Lake,
in the counties of Cook and Lake,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of Plan Commissioner
of the Office of the Plan Commissioner
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you very
I
much.
need you to sign.
Thank you very much for coming forward to serve.
No citizens.
No citizens' comments? Excellent. Staff reports, Mr. Kelp, what do we got?
Good evening, President Harker, members of the board. I had two items that I wanted to update you on this evening. The first is a construction project going on right outside across the street on Northgate Parkway. The board may recall that in April of this year, the village hired a consulting engineering firm to design a construction project that would redirect the stormwater runoff that is generated on the property from the landings, which used to be known as the Whitley of Wheeling, toward Heritage Lake to be compliant with MWRD requirement. That would, the development would utilize the Heritage Lake credits that we have for compensatory storage there, as the site did not have adequate space on the property to hold the detention that was required by the MWRD. The construction going on right now is that sewer project that should be completed next week, and at that point we'll have access again for development purposes to the compensatory storage credits that we have through the MWRD at our Heritage Lake. The other item that I wanted to bring up tonight is regarding the ongoing saga that we have with the Federal Railroad Administration quiet zone. Staff has learned that the FRA inspection uncovered 2 additional private crossings that require additional improvements to become compliant. All crossings in Wheeling are completely compliant and have been since October. We've been informed that these other improvements should be completed within the next week or so, and we anticipate that the quiet zone will be reinstated shortly after then. The most important thing, I think, is that we're comfortable that these improvements will not impede the quiet zone from being reinstated. And on both matters, I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Kelp.
You're welcome.
Consent
Consent
agenda.
agenda, please.
Consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the village board and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the board member or citizen so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered after all other agenda items. 11A, resolution waiving competitive bidding and authorizing the approval of 5-year contract with Lock Safety for license plate recognition services in the amount not to exceed $20,000 in fiscal year 2024, with no annual increase through fiscal year 2029. 11B, resolution approving the purchase of up to 1,200 tons of road salt from Compass Minerals America, Inc. through the state of Illinois Central Management Services Joint Purchasing Program in the amount of $82.31 per ton, and not to exceed purchase amount of $98,772 in fiscal year 2024. 11C, resolution approving a 1-year renewal contract with Mylou Landscapings in the amount of $275,912 for landscape services and miscellaneous ground-related services for an additional $15,000 for the total contract amount of $290,912 in fiscal year 2024. 11D, resolution waiving competitive bidding and accepting a proposal from Metropolitan Pump Company in the amount of $132,400 for Arlington Club lift station improvements. 11E, resolution approving change order number 4 and final for a reduction of $90,585 to the contract with Utility Dynamics Corp. from $460,000 $66,314 to $375,729 for the fiber optic installation program. 11F, ordinance declaring as surplus and authorizing the disposal of personal property owned by the Village of Wheeling by recycling, trade-in, donation, and public auction. 11G, resolution approving a one-year renewal contract with Lavard Contract Construction Company for aggregate material delivery and debris hauling for a total amount not to exceed $60,000 in fiscal year 2024. 11H, resolution approving a second one-year renewal contract with Advanced Tree Care, Inc. in the amount of $105,000 for tree trimming, tree removal, and stump grinding services in fiscal year 2024.
Thank you, Clerk Brady. Questions or comments? If there are none, I would be looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion, trustee Papantos, second trustee Rufato. Roll call.
Trustee Kruger,
Yes.
trustee Rufato,
Yes.
trustee Vogel,
Yes.
trustee Papantos,
Yes.
trustee Vito,
Yes.
trustee Lang,
Yes.
President Horker.
Yes. One minute. Item A is a public hearing. This is a public hearing for the public to make comments regarding the 2024 Village of Wheeling's annual budget. A public hearing notice was published in the Daily Herald. Each member of the public shall have 5 minutes to make their comments. During this time, staff and the board will not answer questions. Comments should not be repetitive or argumentative. Are there any comments from the public? There are no comments from the public.
Sue, anything?
Sorry? Yeah, I was going to say, but I thought. All right. There being no comments, I need a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Motion trustee Vogel, second trustee Kruger. Roll call, please.
Trustee Rufato,
Yes.
trustee Vogel,
Yes.
trustee Papantos,
Yes.
trustee Vito,
Yes.
trustee Lang,
Yes.
trustee Kruger,
Yes.
President Horker.
Yes.
All right.
Number B.
13B, resolution authorizing the finance director to make a final payment on tax increment financing notes.
Mr. Kaplan, what do we got?
Thank you, Mr. President. The staff is seeking tonight approval from the village board to make a final payment on the Northgate Crossing TIF notes. As you might recall, in December of 2016, the village issued $6.5 million in tax increment financing notes to the developers of the Northgate Crossing project. The notes carry an interest rate of 7.45%, and by making a final payment at this time, the village and the overlapping taxing districts will be able to save approximately $200,000 in annual interest expense, and also to begin, the village would be able to begin declaring surpluses 2 years sooner than we would otherwise. The actual payment this year is $1.6 million. However, as I said, the funds are available in the Town Center TIF district, so we're seeking approval to make an estimated payment of about $3.88 million. And I'm happy to answer any questions about that if you have them.
Questions left or right? Doesn't look like anybody has questions. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Rufato, second trustee Vogel. Roll call, please.
Trustee Vogel, trustee Papantos.
Yes.
Trustee Vito,
Yes.
trustee Lang.
Yes.
Trustee Kruger,
Yes.
trustee Rufato,
Yes.
President Horker.
Yes.
13C, ordinance amending chapter 1.26 of the Wheeling Municipal Code regarding village fees and charges.
Mr. Kaplan.
Thank you. As the board is aware, every year the village adjusts most of the fees that it charges for services it provides by the change in the consumer price index. This year, that change amounts to 2.92%. So staff is seeking approval to increase those fees by that amount. The only exception would be the fees for ambulance calls, which have increased by more than 2.92% based on a survey that staff did of neighboring communities. In doing that survey, we determined that the fees that the village charges for ambulance calls are significantly less than what other communities charge, and therefore we're asking to make an adjustment to bring those in line with our neighbors. And by doing so, it would reduce the reliance on property tax and other sources of revenue to subsidize the cost of providing that service. So again, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions or comments? If there are none, I would be looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Trustee Kruger, second.
Second.
Trustee Papantos, roll call.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
President Horker.
Yes.
13D, ordinance.
And E, please.
Ordinance approving paid leave benefits required for the village employees. 13E, resolution revising the Village of Wheeling's personal policy manual.
Mr. Ferrolo,
Thank you, President Horker. I will cover both items since they both relate to the Paid Leave for All Workers Act. Effective January 1st, 2024, the Paid Leave for All Workers Act entitles both full-time and part-time employees who work in Illinois to earn up to a minimum of 40 hours of paid leave during a 12-month period. The act specifically applies to municipal government except for school districts and park districts. The act was signed in the middle of the year with some hope that in the veto session, the legislature would exempt municipalities, which they did not do. The act does, however, provide a way for municipal employers to avoid coverage of the act. And the way that's done is through this particular ordinance. The act provides that it will not apply to employers, including a municipality, that's covered by a municipal or county ordinance in effect on January 1st of 2024. Because the village's leave policies in place currently for the vast majority of employees, including full-time employees and part-time employees who work at least 20 hours, already comply with the act, the attached ordinance affirms and adopts those leave policies, which relieves the village of taking any further action under the act with respect to those employees. That includes full-time and part-time employees who will work at least 20 hours. The ordinance does further add a leave benefit for those employees who currently receive no leave. Those employees include part-time employees who work less than 20 hours and temporary or seasonal employees. Through this particular ordinance, those employers are being provided 1 day of paid leave per year, provided they work for a period of 90 days. This additional benefit, which didn't exist prior to this ordinance, will also be added to the personnel manual, which is the purpose of the resolution. This action we're taking tonight is the action that's being taken by most municipal governments, home rule and non-home rule, as a way to avoid taking any further action under this Paid Leave Act.
questions or comments? If there are none, we're going to do one at a time. I would like a motion to approve 13D.
So moved.
Trustee Papantos, second.
Second.
Trustee Kruger, roll call, please.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
President Horker.
Yes, and 13E.
So moved.
Trustee Kruger, second.
Second.
Trustee Rufato, roll call.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
President Horker.
Yes. Official communications. Quiet, crickets. Trustee Papantos.
Earlier this evening, the board was invited to a ribbon cutting at
the new Union Apartments over on Wheeling Road. I, just want to congratulate the developer and our staff, and especially Planning Commission. They're really wonderful and beautiful. And speaking of the train horns, we were standing inside and never heard the horns. So, they were well constructed. I think it says something about the village that we welcomed this in. I believe it's 53 units, and they will all be filled by the end of this year, i.e. within a month. So, thank you.
It was a very nice event. You have before you the bills of November 16th through the 29th of 2023. I would like a motion for their approval.
So moved.
Trustee Papantos, second. Trustee Lang, roll call, please.
Trustee Krueger,
Yes.
trustee Rufato,
Yes.
trustee Vogel, trustee Papantos, trustee Vito, trustee Lang,
Yes.
President Hooker.
Yes. Okay, we do have an executive session this evening for the purposes of appointment, employment compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee or employees of the village, and pending probable and/or imminent litigation. There will be no business discussed after we come out of executive session, so I need a motion to recess into executive session and adjourn the regular meeting.
So moved.
Trustee
Trustee Vogel, second trustee Rufato. Roll call, please.
Trustee Rufato,
Yes.
trustee Vogel,
Yes.
trustee Papantos, trustee Vito, trustee Lang, trustee Krueger,
Yes.
President Hooker.
Yes, it is 6:57. I would like to recess into the executive session room and reconvene at 7 o'clock. Recess.